Hey, fourth grade families, it's Mr. Rogers from Salisbury. I just want to take a brief moment because we are kind of getting into the phase of school that rhythms and routines are kind of set in place, and wanted to just reiterate some of my um, kind of priorities and things that I think are important so you guys can prioritize at home as well. I know fourth grade is quite a step up, especially, or I'd say even prior to quarantines and missing some of third grade. Fourth grade, in my opinion, is a year where the learners transition from learning how to learn and getting these basic competencies of learning to read, learning their math operations, and having some application to really moving into learning content. And the kids are seeing that we're doing ELA, science, and some social studies all related to, for instance, our science unit of hurricanes, and it's all kind of culminating. Everything works together and they're being asked to take what they have access to and create their own understanding. So I know that's a huge shift and that it's going to be asking a lot of your kids. And so, with that being said, I also recognize that in fourth grade, the expectations at home are more than they were in third grade and in previous years. And it's the decision that the fourth grade team has made with the help of Mrs. McGowan as well. From the mindset of we are trying to build up what we call their executive functioning skills, the idea of coming home, recognizing what do we need to do to be successful and prepared for the next day. Huge disclaimer. I have very little interest in homework, and I know that sounds wildly different than what you probably expect. My interest in homework is not to check and see what they got right or what they got wrong. It is my glance to see, did they feel comfortable with today's learning? Okay? So if they are struggling with a concept, that is so much more important for me to see because nature of being a teacher, I swoop in and I try to support and fix any challenges. But when left to their own devices, are they able to remember the strategies and skills that we used and really memorize or internalize those skills? That is what I'm focused on more so. So I just want to point this out there. I know I've put it in emails before. If your kid is attempting homework that they are unable to do, and it starts to get to the point that they're fighting back or throwing a temper tantrum, stop right there, okay? Do not go any further. It is not about getting through all of the math work or getting 100 points in spelling for the week with all the different activities. We suggest these things that we are hopefully putting out there what would fit within 30 to 40 minutes worth of work, which is what our building and district policy is, fourth graders 40 minutes worth of homework. But if your kid is challenged by something, don't understand, please do not force them to do their homework. And this is me saying honestly, I do not want you to deal with that because I can only imagine. But I also find it so much more helpful for me to know that they need to revisit the learning instead of you guys spent 2.5 hours to get through 7 problems in math. Please, 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 this is from the bottom of my heart. This is my request. Do not put yourself out when it comes to homework. With that being said, in place of that, if you just write a signature, that way I know that your child attempted the problem. That is all I'm looking for. Okay? Now, you have a busy night. I totally understand that. They are not penalized for every once in a while missing homework. If it is something that they are consistently not getting it done and not setting up those executive functioning skills at home, then we look at alternatives at school so that they can get it completed. Because it is something that we are trying to prepare them for, especially when they move into these upper elementary and into the middle school where independence is really a huge part of it. Okay, so I know this is a long video. This is just me telling you that with it being a big step up in expectations, we're also on the same team. Okay, and I just wanted to make sure you heard that. If you have any questions, I am always available. I shouldn't say that. I am available as often as I can be. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Kid forgets homework, whatever the case may be, super flexible about those type of things. It's real life. We got enough to worry about. Homework doesn't need to be added to the list, okay? Just want to take that time to put it out there. The last thing that I will say is if you are really having trouble or you want to get caught up with all of the quarantine preparation, I know the fourth grade team is creating digital lessons for everything we do in school. So now that the kids are bringing their iPads home, that they can go ahead and actually go into their Schoology course, and it's going to be instructional videos. There's 3 or 4 videos for every math lesson that they can go in chronologically and fill out to remind them what they did at school today. Or for their ELA content or science, there's videos and content all in their Schoology course, and I can include kind of an overview in a little bit of what it looks like to go through if that would be helpful. More than anything, if you have questions, do not sit at the dining room table for 3.5 hours to do something. We will be sending home study guides, those type of things in preparation, but our goal is to make this a successful year, but also develop these learners into slightly more independent, slightly more mature, slightly more resilient learners that we're all looking for them to be as they sit. What I always say is when we transition to that double digits, turning 10 this year, the expectations do jump up. So hopefully that comes off as reasonable. If you have questions, please reach out.